we're out with. So that'll start in January, which will be a cold month, but we will guarantee to warm your hearts, just like you will tonight with this show. This is a great Christmas show. I loved it the first time I've seen it, and we've done it many years here at the Valley Center Playhouse, and people still love it. Some people come back and see it every single year, and they've seen it every year since we've done it. So we want to thank you for being here tonight, folks. So we'll just say, welcome to the Valley Center Playhouse. Thank you.
The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and hit little kids and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house.
And that's not all. Somebody sent 5 Dunkin' Donuts to the firemen, and the Herdmans ate them all. What they couldn't eat, they put in their pockets and down the front of their shirt. And that's not all. They wrote this really, really dirty word on the back of Naomi Waddle's favorite turtle. So now she can't take her to the landscape pet show. Her mother won't let her. What was the word? And that's not all. They wrote it in fluorescent paint so it glows in the dark. So when you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word. And then they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain, and Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by accident. Somebody yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late. Did she get sick? Not right away.
And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claudia, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through Woodrow Wilson's schools like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went through town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and whamming kids. So it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Feed out our bread, feed out our bread, because there are birds. But Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother, Charlie. That's what he said when his Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. Charlie said, "No Herdman." That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No Herdman.
Not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
Well, it's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman at school.
Was he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst ones.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you...
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she fights.
Okay, I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of
That's
them.
what I said. Stay away from all of them. Go to church.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Oh, everybody's in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Well, think how your father would feel. He'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob? Wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I thought I would stay home this year. You know how crowded it is there. Somebody can use my seat. I thought of sitting back, putting on my bathrobe, watching TV. Besides, there's never anything different about that pageant anyway.
Oh, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie is going to be wearing your bathrobe.
Oh, you just made that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer is sick and tired of being Joseph all the time just because his father's a minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
Well, what are you going to be in the play this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
Well, from what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in the manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you want in the angel choir?
Bedsheets.
Oh boy, some bevel bed sheets. Come on, let's go.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everybody a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
Oh, they're right, you know. Helen runs the pageant, the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. You know, I think Helen Armstrong would preach a sermon if anybody would let her.
You talking about George Armstrong's wife?
Uh-huh.
Well, she can try to manage the hospital because that's where she is. I just talked with George this morning. He said his wife broke her leg. She's going to be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up till the first of the year.
Oh, the first of the year? Why, they're going to have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the bazaar. She's in charge of the pageant. Oh, I feel sorry for Helen. But who are they going to get to do all of those things? Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, as long as you do the potluck supper. But I don't know what in the world we're going to do about the pageant. Unless, what about Grace?
Oh, I just can't, Jane. I've got company all Christmas week. What about Grace? Hello, Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't exactly what you'd call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking a leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It was always the same old pageant, the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That, and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them that we must choose our Mary very carefully because, after all, Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that.
I thought we
Simply,
were talking
I never
about
spent
the
time
traction.
with
How
Joseph
could
because it's always played by Elmer Hopkins.
What do you think
And
traction
he knows
means?
all
Would
about
anybody
Mary
explain?
and Joseph.
No such luck. Beth, could you get salt and pepper and
How
napkins?
very important they all are. And I always say there are no small parts, only small actors.
You will
among
say
the
someone
angel
said
choir,
the rest
not
of us, won't you,
stare out of the
Charlie?
audience.
Leroy Herbert's for my lunch kid.
How can you let him do that to you every day?
How can I stop it? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll
get it.
Because they will be your biggest problem. You'll need to get someone to push the baby angels on stage, otherwise they get in each other's way and bend their wings. Bob could do that. And we can keep an eye on the shepherds too. Oh, another word about the angel choir, Grace. Whatever you do, don't let them wear lipstick. They think that just because this is a play, that they have to wear
Helen,
lipstick.
I have to go. There's somebody
This
at
looks
my door.
terrible and
Helen, I'll
What?
talk to you later.
Hello?
There's somebody at my door.
what? What?
Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, could you give me a bite of supper? I haven't had a bite to eat in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's you.
I was getting lonely here.
Well, I mean, Helen's getting very lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the phone system works.
Oh, Baxter told us no small parts, only small actors.
To get somebody to push the baby angels on stage and keep the shepherds quiet.
Yes, you know, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
Oh, and Grace, don't get just anybody's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two if you can. That way, if one turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong had nothing to do but sit in the hospital and think up problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, my mother hadn't counted on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because here,
What was
2
it?
Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll give you my dessert. We get refreshments all the time, all you want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds of chocolate, cake, and candy bars, and cookies, and Twinkies, and
You're a
and
liar.
ice cream, and donuts, and cupcakes, and
Who gives it to you?
Mother Minister.
Why? Is he crazy?
Don't let me do it.
Sunday school, huh? Hey, Ralph, listen to this.
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were at Sunday school, just in time to hear about the pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's like a play.
Like on TV? What's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part. Come on now, Beth. David, you and Charlie, come on down. Get the benches up. Right here. Come on, children.
All right, boys and girls, this won't take very long if we all settle down. Today, we are going to decide who will play the main roles in the Christmas pageant.
Can me and Beverly sing in the choir, Mrs. Bradley?
Yes, Doris. But of course, you must remember, everybody will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always says? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says?
That's what she says, but she never says what it means.
Well, don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to go to the front row of the angel choir, or else no one can see them.
Oh, not exactly, Maxine. It just means that the littlest baby angels are just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, of course that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is the most important.
I still think the short kids have to go in the front row.
No,
Mary's not the most important. The short kids always have to go in the front row.
important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kid. Now, let's see. Is everybody here? Beverly, will you step out in the hall and make sure there's nobody else coming? Now, you little children will be our angels, so you'll need bed sheets from home.
Will the people in the angel choir need bed sheets too?
Yes, and any of you shepherds, if you have old bathrobes at home. Oh, well, now what's the matter? Oh, Miss Robert Herdman. Oh, now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Oh, well, did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was I said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
Oh, well, will somebody please tell Beverly about the rehearsal? The next 4 Wednesdays after school. Plan to be to everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick, Elmer. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick because we didn't even start yet.
Well, we don't know Beverly got sick. Oh, Beverly. Oh, let's just have you. Maybe sit right there. Oh, all right now. I would like everybody to think about Mary and the type of person Mary was. We know that she was kind and gentle and loving, and the girl that plays Mary should try to be that type of person. Now, who would like to volunteer for the part? Oh, Emma Jean, did you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I'll just write that down, and we'll decide who will play the parts later. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to volunteer to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Oh. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Well, very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Emma Jean has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. Now, who else would like to volunteer? Who can I put on my list? Maxine? Beth? Alice? Wouldn't you like to be Mary?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be married.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys, but they don't have to be.
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Claudia, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's a wise
Just
man?
raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
Well, it's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. Oh, there, we do have some volunteers. David, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a wise man. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered my mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Well, why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Well, Gladys isn't going to hit anyone. She's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds.
And hits them.
Oh, Elmer, that's ridiculous. I don't want to hear another word about it. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's enough for today. Go ahead and go, but plan to be here next Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, why in the world did you not volunteer? Don't you want to be married?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, I expected you to volunteer to be married.
Please.
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I think terrorized my hand. Imogen would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in this place. If you open your mouth and raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm
Did you hear about the... Well, it must have been Grace's fault somehow. How else would the 6 of them end up in a Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Sarah, Irma Slocum, I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be Mary in the Christmas pageant. And is that a fact? All 6 of them? Sarah, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of a child is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus? And where was Reverend Hopkins, I would like to know? He was what? Oh, visiting shut-ins. Well, I'm a shut-in and he wasn't visiting me. So responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I had been up and around, this never would have happened. Oh, well, let me tell you.
Oh, don't tell me. I'm on your side. The car's over here.
Oh, Helen Armstrong's not the only woman in the world who could direct a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind to do the best job I could under the circumstances. And now I am going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they were the only ones who volunteered.
Good for you, Grace. The car's over here.
Oh, and you're going to help me.
Does that mean I have...
Yes, you have to go. The inn is backstage over here, and the shepherds come in and they gather around the manger.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway?
What's the name? Like a motel where people go to spend the night. What people, Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Holly. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Emma Jean, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard of the Christmas story from the Bible?
No.
Oh, well, that's what this pageant is all about. I better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? The Herdmans have never heard the Christmas story.
Why not? They don't even know what the Bible is. They never went to church in their whole life. So your dumb brother told me we got refreshments. They're wasting all this time for nothing.
All right, now. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with his wife Mary, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right, now, we all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And laid him in a manger, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
They didn't have room for Jesus.
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What's the matter with Joseph that they didn't tell them? Her pregnant and all.
What's the manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever they had. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put him in?
We put Gladys in a bureau jar.
Oh, well, there you go. You didn't have a bed, so you had to use
Oh, we had a
something
bed,
else.
all right. Only Ollie was still in it, and he wouldn't get out. He didn't like Gladys. You remember he didn't like Gladys?
I think that was smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
The wadded up clothes. It says in there she wrapped him in wadded up clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly with large pieces of material to help them feel see.
They tied him up and they put him in an animal feedlot. Where was the child's welfare?
The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes. There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And the shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo,
Shut down! Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance, the mighty marvel!
Gladys, I don't know what in the world you're talking about.
The mighty marvel from Amazing Comics. Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance!
Gladys, this is the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds.
I know it, right? Out of the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam.
And when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
Well, they were special things. They were spices and precious oil.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better things from the welfare.
Were they the welfare, the wise men?
Well, they were kings.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. They're kings and they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get up.
Oh, well, they were sent by Herod, who was, well, the main king. And he was looking for Jesus to have him put to death.
They're going to kill a baby? He just got born.
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby and is not even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. He says, go get me the baby, and he says it's done okay, because he's a king and all.
But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod.
We're not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No, Joseph gets the shepherds together and they all wipe out Herod. See, they're going to put one in me and I'm going to get killed.
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And I'll run there as the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to wipe out the innkeeper. Gladys, you fix out the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't stay in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
I'd kick somebody out. I'd say, I've got this baby, and it's the middle of winter, so either get out or move up.
I'd go after old Harry.
I send the angel after him. She just points her left finger and turns him into a pile of ashes.
Yeah, that.
What's the name of this play? She never said.
Christmas pageant.
That's no name. That's what it is.
I know name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Revenge at Bethlehem? The herdman thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod they were after, and not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wouldn't let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't even have a baby Jesus. And not bothered by Mother, she kept trying to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
No, it's not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene cusses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is, she drinks it. And I've seen her 3 times. Her mouth is all purple. They still, too. If you shake the birthday bake, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And when you walk into the ladies' room, the air is all blue, and Imogene Herdman is sitting there in the Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother, and Reverend Hopkins, and the Ladies' Aid Society, and anybody else who wants to know what happens when the Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, now, children, everyone settle down. Alice, Beth, you girls come down here so we can get started. All right. Now this is our last rehearsal, and we are going to run through the whole thing. Practice.
Grace, I just wanted to tell you, we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. Oh, I suppose this is your dress rehearsal?
Oh, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a baby a couple of weeks ago? A little baby girl?
Oh, she's just adorable.
Well, I was wondering what you would think if I called her and asked if we could borrow the baby to be in the pageant.
No. I mean, I could make up some lie and tell you the baby's sick or cranky or something, but the truth is, she's happy and healthy and beautiful, and we all want her to stay that way. So I'll certainly not turn her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
Oh, David, I didn't know you had a new baby brother.
He's not new. He's 4 years old and he's double jointed and he can probably scrunch up.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna work.
I'll get us a baby.
Oh, well, how would you do that?
There's always 2 or 3 babies in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll just get one of them.
Oh, Emma Jean, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. Forget about the baby. We'll use a doll.
A doll's better anyway. It can't bite you.
Oh, and Emma Jean, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't have something in them, they will grow together.
Well, they're not going to grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
She probably did it with an eye stick. I'll bet Imogene's ears turned black and fall off.
Well, we'll have to find something smaller. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? You're all supposed to be in your costume.
I can't find my halo and my wings are bent. Janet's got my robe and my mother doesn't have any white sheets. Can I wear sheets with balloons on them?
No, Doris.
I don't have a costume. I've never been a shepherd before. My brother's bathrobe. That's what I have to do. He doesn't have one. What does he hang on the house in? His underwear.
All right, now, let's just pretend we're wearing our costumes.
Are we going to the whole thing?
Yes, but first we're going to practice just the entrances. Everybody go where you need to be. Take these benches off as you go. David, can you take that? Thank you. Hurry quickly. All right. We're going to start with the shepherds. Okay. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to
Sit
them.
down! Out of the black night with horrible faces! The mighty horrible!
No, go on, Maxine.
And suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Music, angels. Good. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch it. I named him Jesus.
Oh, no. Mary and Joseph aren't supposed to say anything. You just stand there and make a lovely picture for everybody to look at and think about Christmas and what it means. Oh, now put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel comes and tells me what to name my baby. I'm going to name him Bill.
Oh, what a horrible thing to say!
What did you do with that? Was that Gladys? There's angels all over the place.
No, Gladys is the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah! Unto you a child is born!
Unto me, not them. Me. I was one who had the baby.
No, Jesus belongs to everybody. Unto all of us a child is born.
Why did they let Mary name her own baby? What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus?
Yes.
I know what the angel said. She said, his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My gosh, he'd never got out of first grade if he had tried all of that.
Bradley,
You said that.
Oh, well, 5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes!
We never did start over, and we never did go through the whole thing. 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. And then, when Mrs. McCarthy walked by the ladies' room and saw all the smoke, she called the fire department. And they came right away. They cleared everybody out of the building and dragged a fire hose through the place, looking for a fire to put out. But the only one they found was in the kitchen. The applesauce cake had burned up. That made the ladies mad, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The laser was filled with thick smoke.
Oh, it couldn't have been. You just got all excited. Now there's firemen running all through the church, baby angels crying in the street, shepherds climbing all over the fire truck, and the neighbors. Oh, didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I wouldn't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Oh!
We're going to have a 10-minute intermission. The bathrooms are over there.
Candy's over there, but you'll want to go around this way because Gladys and Imogene might get you. Come on, Imogene, let's get out!
Alice Wendleton's mother was mad, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad. And Reverend Hopkins didn't think anybody was going to show up. I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jam-packed full. Everybody wanted to see what the Herdmans would do.
Okay, wait till I turn on the light. Now watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what in the world you're going to do with this thing.
I know. I thought it might look like a palm tree, but I can see now that it doesn't. I have no idea what in the world is going to happen tonight. We've never run through the whole thing once. The Herdmans still think it's some type of spy story. This could be the first Christmas pageant ever, where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight, and Mary runs off with the baby. Oh, where are our kids?
All the kids in the world are down in the basement putting on bathrobes.
No, I mean our kids.
We're here.
Oh, it's getting late. Go get your costumes on.
It's just going to be awful, you know. They look like trick or treat, all fastened together with safety pins and wearing their moldy old sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees or something.
You know, that's what they were in a way, Mary and Joseph. They were refugees. They were a long way from home. They didn't have anywhere to stay. They didn't know anybody. They were probably cold and tired and hungry and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure were messy.
Do you think I should
Oh,
down
no, I
and
think you
get
worry
the...
too much. Now listen, I'm going to go off stage, and I'm going to push baby angels on stage. And then I'm going to get the shepherds or crooks and push them on stage. And then, when do I do all this?
Oh, just follow the script.
Script. Okay, baby angels, shepherds, wise men. I don't see the part about the fire engines in here.
Oh.
Kidding.
All right, everybody come in and settle down and...
Is the people in the angel choir going to stage a blackout?
Yes.
But how do you stay in the dark?
Oh, Alice, will you and Beth help Doris be down there with the baby angels, be down in front where you can help them? Now, I just wanted to see how you all looked. Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, I think I ought to tell more than just the baby came. I mean, why would they all go off and tear off after some baby they don't even know? I ought to tell them it's Jesus, and I ought to tell them where he is.
No, Gladys. All you say is, unto you a child is born, and that's all you say. Okay? Now, let's see. How about if we have everybody go backstage and try to be really quiet while the people are coming in, and break a good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say break a leg, they say good luck.
Break a leg.
Oh, no! That doesn't break your leg or anybody else's. Oh.
Oh, and Emma Jean, try to remember that this is a baby. Oh, and for tonight, anyways, it's the baby Jesus.
And in that region, there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Say
among men.
believe that was Imogene Herdman and the rest of them? Irma, this is the best Christmas pageant we've ever had. And I'm not really sure why, but I think it was them. Is that possible?
I always get so weepy about the pageants. I guess the children and carols and all, but I think you're right. It was the best one. And it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord was different.
Oh, yes, but I like that. Had lots of spirit. Usually you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I must go find Grace and tell her.
You know, I just wish I'd let her use Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
Oh, no, Irma. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the Christmas story was about Jesus, but it was a lot more than that. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then, arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, the Christmas pageant was a whole new story. Imogene birthing the baby, and the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, you can't eat frankincense. And even Gladys, he's in the barn, go see him. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the pageant was all wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to what Christmas was really all about. When it was over, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any of the hot cocoa, and they didn't make out off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their candy canes.
Well, I guess that's about it. Is there anybody left downstairs?
No, everybody's gone. You know you still have your bathrobe on. You're not going to wear that, are you?
Why not? I might get mistaken for a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being mistaken for a shepherd in this play.
Oh, yes, you would. When it was over, some lady can hug me because I'm a shepherd. Or to bring this ham.
Oh, no, it's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. They won't take it back. Leroy said it's a present, and you don't take back a present.
Leroy said that they was looking here.
You and Alice Wendleton.
Hey, what about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
That's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
It's almost Christmas, Charlie.